What up, family? So we back at it again. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to tell you some of our top all-time Christmas movies. It could be something that we watched in the past. Maybe me and Trish used to watch it when we were kids. Or it could have been something that recently came out for our kids to watch. But we got a couple of movies we recently watched. One of them was something that we learned about in church. They actually had a movie theme. Every week they do like a theme. And one of the movies that I think it's Jordan's favorite movie. What movie is that, Jordan?
The Polar Express.
And what do you remember about the Polar Express? What was it about?
It was about a girl and a boy and another boy, and then there was like another boy, but they got in really trouble. A girl thought that a boy wanted it to go to Christmas Eve, and then but he did it, but another boy, he follows them, and then they pull out another train, but they didn't pull out like a big one. It was just like a little bit small, but it was like this big, and I will talk it to you later.
Yeah, so I think what Jordan's trying to say is, I believe the moral behind the Polar Express was there's a little boy. He could have either been maybe either homeless or in an orphanage, but it didn't really grow up in the best of living situation. And there was a train that was passing by, and just when he thought, maybe like everything was over or there was just no hope for him, the train pulled up and there was one kid on the train that looked over and saw him. And he just, for 1 second, he looked at him and he just said, "Come here." Told him to get on the train. And I think that moment was just magical for him because it just made him know that he wasn't forgotten about or he wasn't left behind. And I believe the reason they show that in church is because they want us to know that God doesn't leave anybody behind. So it was a good message and a good story for our kids to learn, and also for us as adults, because some of the things that our kids watch, they watch what we do. So the messages that we hear are going to translate to them, and hopefully they can carry these messages on during their lifetime and pass it on to their kids. So Kylie, what movie did you like? The Poppy movie? What movie is that? I thought you told me you like, wasn't it Trolls Holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kylie has this movie, it's called Trolls Holiday, and basically it's from the Trolls, and there's a lot of singing and dancing and just a lot of fun. They're ice skating in the movie, and it's just something that she can watch over and over and over. She's learning the different movies, and she's 3 right now. So maybe when she gets like 5 or 6, she'll be able to remember some of these things and can tell you exactly her experiences of the different movies that she likes. So,
What kind of other movies do you like, Kylie?
you got any other movies you like? What other movie? What Christmas movie did you like? I think you
I know what.
Which one?
The wedding one. There was a birthday, and then there was a Christmas one. 2 different things. The birthday one, the Christmas, and then did you know that there's a black boy with a shirt, then he has a dog that was That's fourth.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit too old for some of the movies that they're talking about. I think some of the movies that me and Trish may have grew up on that we think is some of our favorites. Well, I know mine for sure. All time would probably have to be Home Alone. Home Alone was like a movie that I probably watched every Christmas. For those of you that are a little bit younger and you're like, what is Home Alone? So Home Alone is basically a boy, it's Christmas time, him and his family, they're going on a trip, and while they're in the airport, he ends up, through all the madness of, amount of people that are in the airport, he ends up losing his family. And I think at one point he actually sees the family, he thinks it's his family because they're wearing similar clothing, so he starts to follow them around, and all of a sudden, all you know is that he ends up being lost from them. So they don't actually realize this until, they're all the way in, I forgot what city they went to go visit, but when they got over there, that's when they finally realized he was missing. So he had ended up going back home, but the plot to the story was that there was actually some guys that were trying to rob his house. So basically, he ends up being inside the house while they're trying to rob the house. So he starts outsmarting them and setting up traps and different things. And basically, it's just one of those movies where it has a lot of laughter, a lot of, just moments that you can remember. There's actually like a sound bite. I'll play that in the background for you.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
I think there was 3 of them. Those are my basically all-time favorite series of a Christmas movie. A movie that we watched recently, I didn't even get to finish watching this movie, but The Holiday Calendar. It's actually with P. Diddy's son, Quincy. And basically it's the story to this and why I like it. It was him and a girl. Basically they grew up together, they're best friends, but he, when you get to a certain point in time in life, usually around college years, you take different paths, so I guess he was traveling and he was vlogging his lifestyle and things like that and doing photography. So, and that's kind of what we're into. So a lot of that we relate to, and it kind of draws us to want to watch it. So he ends up coming back home and he decides to move home, and him and his best friend, they start hanging out again. They start basically helping each other out with different tasks, and a little bit into the story, I don't want to say too much about it, but they start to rekindle their relationship, and things may or may not possibly escalate from there. But that's definitely one of the newer movies. So there's constantly movies coming out every year. So we have our go-to movies from back in the day, but we also have movies that come out every year, because our kids, they might not know the movies from 20 years ago, but they'll definitely start to know some of these newer movies that are coming out, and that'll probably be their traditions, when they get a little bit older. I'd have to say another one is This Christmas. Yeah, This Christmas with Chris Brown. This was like way back when Chris Brown was a little bit younger, but this movie, it's like one of those movies, in traditional households, you have a lot of family members, and sometimes people have like little arguments and this and that, or somebody's holding a secret, and you come home for the holidays if you're in college. So everyone was gathering at the household, and you would see all of this drama unfold with different things going on. There was a moment in the movie where Chris Brown was in church. Everyone was in church, and Chris Brown just started singing. And at this point in time, it didn't really matter what problems anyone had, whether it was in the movie or in your own household, just anything that was going on. When he started singing, it just made you forget about all of that. It just brought the family a lot closer, even if it was for a small moment. But that was very memorable, and just something that you can always look back and remember on. Another thing in the movie, Lauren London's in the movie, and Lauren London, she actually came home with like a new boyfriend, and I know how that can be. Whether you have like a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend, and they're meeting your family for the first time, you can always feel a little bit awkward. You can be a little bit nervous. But what's funny about that is when he came in the door, he basically was surrounded by her family. So, you know, it's just one of those things you can kind of relate to. Trying to think if there's any other movies. There's a lot of movies here and there, but not too many that, you know, stand out. I remember there's a movie called like Bad Santa, The Grinch, right? Yeah.
There's a ladybug movie about Santa Claus. He used to be evil about that monster, but I think Ladybug and Cat Noir can like not stop Santa Claus because he keep on getting everybody some bugs and presents, and it was like a bomb, and the present was like a bomb, but there was spiders around the whole place and bugs.
Yeah, Ladybug and Cat Noir. It's like a television cartoon series, and they, I believe, have a Christmas movie that the kids have watched as well. But yeah, I think The Grinch is like one of the famous movies. Everyone hates The Grinch. When you see The Grinch, as a little kid, you grin, you're like, I hate him. You know, The Grinch is something that just reminds you of a bad time because he's there to steal Christmas. The Grinch, I believe, grew up as an orphan, and he didn't get to experience Christmas. He, you know, would stare out the window and he'd see all the kids having fun, opening up presents, you know, playing with each other, and he didn't get to experience that. So for him, Christmas was not a good memory, it was a bad memory. So anytime Christmas came around, he wanted to basically take that joy away from people. So he purposely just go around and do mean things just out of spite. The thing about that is there's a lot of people in the world that have similar situations, you know. There's people that don't get to experience the better side of Christmas, and they might have those same feelings and those same resentments when they grow up. So why we try to just, you know, make the most out of Christmas with our family and our kids is because we don't want them to be the Grinch, you know? We want them to be happy, and we want them to spread that love and that energy and that happiness to all of their friends, family members, anyone they come across. And we want them to have those same things in their family when they get, you know, older and they have their own family and they come and bring their kids over to grandma and grandpa's house. So, you know, I believe those are probably our top movies. I mean, like I said, we're trying to watch movies almost every night just to catch up on some of the Christmas movies. So there might be something that stands out that I'm not remembering right now, but it may be something that becomes a memorable movie that, you know, watch every year. So we just wanted to give you guys, you know, some of those movies that we like to watch. I think this one might be a little bit tired, and she's probably a little bit over it, but she did good. So we want to say thank you for watching us. Please comment, like, and subscribe to our videos. Until next time, we are out.
I gotta tell you one more thing first.
What's that?
I know a Grinch has a dog.
He does?
Yeah, he does. A little girl was trying to deliver a gift card to Santa, but there was a Grinch. It was like right up to the corner. Then the dog was like, ruff. Then the Grinch told the dog to be quiet, and then the Grinch and the girl they screamed.
You want to go watch that right now?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
That.